This case is disturbing. Caution is advised before viewing. After weeks on duty, Skylar, a 20-year-old soldier, returns home. His young wife, Danielle, is over the moon, eagerly anticipating his return. However, upon learning that his wife bought alcohol for him from another man instead of a friend, as he had requested, he becomes upset and loses his temper. Danielle, born in 1995, lost her mother to cancer at just 2. She and her siblings were raised by their grandmother in California. James Pelletier, a neighbor, became a father figure to them, often taking them out for activities. At 14, they then moved in with their stepfather Michael, who later adopted Danielle. At the start of her last year in high school, Danielle meets Skylar Nemitz on Facebook. Skylar, an 18-year-old who just finished high school nearby, plans to join the army. They fall for each other instantly and start a passionate romance. At the tender ages of barely 17 and 18 respectively, Danielle and Skylar decide to marry. Danielle makes the bold choice to leave high school behind to join her husband in Washington, where he is stationed. The couple settled in a cozy apartment near Skylar's base and started their life together. United by their love for firearms, they frequent the shooting range. Skylar, taught gun safety by his father, gifts Danielle a customized AR-15 rifle for her birthday. In September 2014, Skylar started a 3-week training course and returned home on October 16th. Danielle eagerly awaited his return, spending the day decorating the house, setting a romantic mood with candles, and even bathing the dogs. In the afternoon, she went to the military base to greet him, sharing her excitement with her friend Michaela. To mark Skylar's return, they decided to celebrate with pizza and drinks, despite Danielle being underage to purchase alcohol in the US. Later that evening, while Danielle was relaxing in bed, she decided to video call her close friend Michaela. During their conversation, Danielle shared her excitement about Skylar being back. However, their happiness was short-lived as just 12 minutes later, 911 received calls reporting a gunshot from their neighbors. Arriving at the scene, officers found Skylar in tears, claiming Danielle accidentally shot herself. Skylar's distraught behavior raised suspicion. Danielle was discovered in the guest bedroom, fatally shot in the head. Skylar was found outside, sobbing, though curiously dry-eyed. Skylar initially claimed Danielle's death was an accident, but later confessed to the police a different version, stating the rifle accidentally discharged while he was handling it, killing Danielle. Skylar was promptly arrested, during which he engaged in a 35-minute monologue expressing anguish and professing his love for his late wife. Investigators found his behavior overly dramatic and insincere. At the police station, he underwent 5 hours of questioning. Skylar explained that he had given Danielle a rifle for his birthday months earlier, initially storing it in their bedroom closet. Danielle later asked him to move it to a safe in the guest room, where she was working on her computer with her back turned to him. Assuming the rifle was unloaded, Skylar attempted to verify its condition. He insists that he did not see any bullets in the rifle chamber and that, tragically, a shot went off, lodging directly into Danielle's head and then ending up in the computer screen. Immediately, inconsistencies appear in his story. First, he tells the neighbor that Danielle had accidentally shot himself. Then he says that the rifle and the magazine were far apart in the closet. Next, he says that when he decided to put the rifle in the safe, he removed the magazine, the same magazine that was supposedly far from the rifle in the closet. As he's questioned, his story gets messier. He admits to his wife's death, but calls it an accident, claiming love for her while acting devastated. Investigators find his actions strange. He doesn't call for help, his shirt's clean of blood, and he doesn't try to help his wife. Instead, he hides the gun, pours alcohol away, and tosses bottles off the balcony. Quickly, the investigators discover that the trajectory of the bullet does not match his version of events. For them, it looks more like an execution than an accident. They decide to interrogate him again. Skylar then changes his version of events once again and admits to aiming at his wife with the gun and pulling the trigger as a joke. But he swears he was convinced the gun was unloaded, maintaining that all of this is just an accident. The investigators started to question the relationship between Skylar and Danielle. Was it as perfect as Skylar claimed? They decided to dig deeper into their private life to find out if there were any issues. It turned out that behind their happy facade, there were darker problems. Danielle's friends weren't convinced that everything was okay. They felt things had moved too fast with Skylar. He didn't try to connect with them, and they sensed he had a strong influence over Danielle. Danielle's best friend, Michaela, felt Skylar kept Danielle isolated. She noticed Danielle was stressed, trying to maintain a perfect home for Skylar. There were signs of tension, like when Skylar broke Danielle's phone during an argument. Skylar was jealous and controlling, accusing Danielle of cheating and arguing about money. Witnesses came forward, including Kerry Fass, who revealed Skylar's violent behavior towards Danielle. Danielle felt pressured to please Skylar, even buying new underwear to welcome him back. Skylar had a drinking problem and would get angry when things didn't go his way. He was upset when he found out someone else bought alcohol for Danielle. There were suspicions about Danielle's friendship with a high school friend named Jeremy. For the investigators, a motive then emerges. Skylar might have believed that Danielle was having an affair with her boss or with Jeremy, which would explain the letter found. The police decide to interrogate Michael Newton, Danielle's boss, and Jeremy, his former schoolmate. Michael assures that he appreciated Danielle and her professionalism, but that there had never been anything more than a professional relationship between them. Jeremy admits to having seen Danielle several times, including the Wednesday before the tragedy, but they deny any romantic involvement. Anthony Fass, Kerry's husband, is also questioned. He states that he has known the couple since 2013 when Skylar was assigned to the base. They had quickly become friends because both were from California. They often went out together as couples. He claims that Danielle had told them that Skylar had hit her. At first, he didn't believe it until she sent them a photo of her bruised face. He had talked to his buddy who had denied it outright, saying that Danielle had been stung by an insect. On the day of his return from the mission, Anthony reports that Skylar had come to thank him for buying him alcohol. When he revealed that it wasn't him, Skylar had, in his words, flown into a rage. Quickly, he would have discovered that the person who had accompanied his young wife to buy alcohol was none other than Jeremy, towards whom he had serious doubts about a possible affair with his wife. The investigators also discover that Danielle kept a diary, but they do not find it at the couple's home. They learn that Skylar's mother, Danette, would have taken possession of it. Interrogated, she admits to having retrieved Danielle's journal because it contained, according to her, information that could be hurtful and unfounded towards her son. When she hands the journal to the investigators at their request, they notice that several pages have been torn out. After these troubling revelations, Skylar is accused of first-degree murder. The investigators now know that he is the one who fatally shot his wife. He is arrested, and his bail is set at $1 million. To be able to pay his bail and ensure his defense, his divorced mother sells everything she owns: houses, cars, jewelry. She even takes out loans. Once the bail is paid, Skylar is released from prison and placed under house arrest pending trial. His mother leaves California to join him in a small apartment. For the prosecution, Skylar was an abusive and violent partner. Having discovered that Danielle had bought alcohol with Jeremy, he would have been unable to tolerate what he perceived as infidelity and would have coldly planned to kill her. The prosecutor presents text messages proving that the couple frequently argued. Here are some of the texts exchanged by the couple. "Come on, you can ask before wasting my money, damn it. You really are an idiot." In another text, Skylar accuses Danielle of going out with Jeremy. Danielle responds, "Either you have insecurities you need to work on, or you don't trust me when it comes to hanging out with Jeremy." Several people testified to the daily abuse Danielle suffered. Skylar defends himself on the stand, sharing a story similar to what he told the police. He says he yelled Danielle's name when the gunshot happened, thinking it would alert the neighbors. He claims he was ready to end his own life if they hadn't intervened. When asked why he didn't call for help or help Danielle, he says he knew she was already dead. The prosecutor questions him about his drinking and tries to get rid of the evidence by pouring alcohol down the toilet and off the balcony. They accuse him of caring more about hiding his involvement than about Danielle's death. The next significant witness, Anthony Fass, a friend of Skylar's from the Army, takes the stand. He was tasked with purchasing 2 bottles of alcohol for Skylar on the night in question. Fass explains, "Skylar, being under 21, asked me to buy alcohol for them since I was returning home earlier than the others. However, I was unable to fulfill this request due to being occupied with other matters." He further elaborates, Danielle, feeling anxious about the situation as Skylar was eager to have the alcohol, sought the assistance of 2 other individuals to procure it, one of whom was Jeremy. Skylar remained unaware of this until expressing gratitude to me later. According to the young soldier, Skylar was furious when he found out he hadn't bought the alcohol. Indeed, he realized that Danielle had lied. She had told him that it was Anthony who had taken the bottles. Moreover, Skylar seemed to be in a good mood during the FaceTime call between Danielle and his friend Michaela just minutes before the tragedy. Prosecutors believe he was hiding his anger, alert like a well-trained soldier. He waited for her to hang up the phone and then shot a bullet into the back of her head, they claim. According to them, Skylar possessed an excellent knowledge of firearms far beyond his military training. The prosecutor argued that it was unlikely that he could make such a fundamental mistake as pointing a gun at someone and pulling the trigger. According to the forensic pathologist who examined the weapon used in the crime, the shot couldn't go off by itself. Some pressure must be applied to the gun for the shot to go off. In March 2016, following 7 days of deliberation, he was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, but cleared of first-degree murder. The jury determined that he lacked intent to kill his wife. Consequently, he received a 13.5-year prison sentence with an anticipated release in 2029. Skylar was cleared of planned murder, but many said he treated the young woman badly. They claimed Skylar was controlling, not letting her work, and dictating her spending and outings. Ironically, the weapon used to harm Danielle was a gift from Skylar, given on his birthday sometime earlier. For more stories like this, follow and subscribe to our channel.